Modern life leaves a digital exhaust trail. Simply walking down a street or driving to work generates a constant stream of data, making our daily routines perfectly readable to the institutions that collect it. This transparency only flows in one direction. The physical infrastructure processing all that information is routinely obscured, shielded behind anonymous holding companies and vaguely worded local zoning permits. Look closely at the vehicles moving through your city. This is an automated license plate reader mounted directly on a patrol car, continuously cataloging the coordinates of thousands of local residents every single day. The billions of data points gathered by street-level sensors eventually land in massive, anonymous facilities like this one. This scale of infrastructure requires enormous physical capacity, industrial parks that are easily repurposed for anything from data centers to detention processing hubs, all hidden behind the same windowless facade. When institutions hold a monopoly on information, mapping every detail of a population while their own tools remain completely opaque, power scales without friction. Historically, we relied on journalists to bridge that gap, but as you can see in this constrained press briefing room, institutional media access is heavily bottlenecked. National outlets simply lack the bandwidth to investigate every mysterious antenna or newly permitted warehouse in every local municipality. For citizens trying to fill that void, traditional grassroots activism carries severe risks. Attempting to document these facilities up close often leads to trespassing charges, wiretapping felonies, or direct threats to a person's livelihood. Exposing the physical reality of opaque power requires a new kind of mechanism. We need a system capable of documenting this infrastructure at scale without putting a target on the back of the person holding the camera. The strongest camouflage is simply doing your job. Millions of gig workers, delivery drivers, and commuters traverse virtually every street and alleyway daily. This constant, routine travel creates what we call plausible ordinary movement. A delivery driver doesn't need to mount an investigation to capture an anomaly. They can legally pause, take a picture of a newly installed sensor cluster like this one on a public utility pole, and drive away without breaking their normal routine. The architecture of this network relies on a strict firewall. When a worker submits an observation, the system instantly strips their identity. The photograph, timestamps, and coordinates move forward into an evidence database, while any trace of who captured it is permanently deleted. It mirrors the tactics of modern data brokers, but in reverse. Instead of aggregating observations about citizens, the network aggregates observations about the state, leaving the everyday observer invisible. To prevent unverified rumors, the network uses the epistemic ladder. It starts at observed, containing only a raw photograph. Instantly, automated tools match coordinates to a parcel, elevating it to identified. Next, the system scrapes registries to uncover attached LLCs. The site is now documented. The person driving past only had to contribute 10 seconds of reality. Automated software handles the tedious investigative work required to figure out exactly what that building actually does. By removing guesswork, the network builds an unassailable evidentiary receipt. An institution can dismiss an angry activist, but they have a much harder time dismissing a legally obtained photograph cross-referenced with their own public procurement records. Because there is no central headquarters, no corporate leadership, and no master list of contributors, the system is exceptionally resilient. A network structured this way cannot be bought out by a private equity firm or subpoenaed into silence. Bounties and financial rewards for verified discoveries turn a volunteer project into a high-efficiency audit market. When participants are paid to find discrepancies in a city's public inventory, the map populates with speed and precision. Participation doesn't require ideological alignment. A progressive investigating private detention centers, a conservative concerned about federal overreach, and a farmer protecting their groundwater all have a concrete reason to use this tool. Despite differing political motivations, these submissions all flow into the same database, constructing a single, unified map of undeniable physical truth. The most effective defense against opaque power is legibility. If an institution watches us, confines us, or consumes our public resources, we finally have the permanent tools to see exactly who they are and what they are building.